Hi there, viewers. Welcome back to the channel Anime Insights. Today we will be recapping Season 1 of the series Solo Leveling. Let's dive in. For 10 years, strange portals have been appearing all over the world. These portals connect to dungeons with dangerous magical beasts that pose a threat to the world. In order to fight these monsters and close the portals, hunters of different ranks can go inside the dungeons and fight their way through. Once they defeat the boss, the portal closes. Fighting the monsters also earns them magical stones that can be exchanged for money or for weapons which are used to fight monsters. In such a cruel and dangerous world, Sung Jinwoo, an E-ranked hunter, has to go on raids, but he is the weakest hunter in the world. He cannot fight, nor can he afford strong weapons. One day he has to go on a raid with other hunters, and even though he is not cut out for the job, he has to follow through with it because he needs to earn money for his sick mother. The group of hunters he joins manage to clear out the dungeon, but find another opening within which leads them to a strange, creepy temple full of statues that stop them from leaving. These statues brutally kill two party members and do not let anyone escape. Even though Sung has been close to death before, this time he sees no way out. With all of the hunters trapped, panic quickly spreads, but Sung tries to come up with a solution. He realizes that there are specific rules that they have to follow. These rules are written on a stone slab in the temple which state 3 commandments, and Sung links these rules to the biggest statue in front of them. Sung tells everyone to bow down in front of the statue in order to revere it as a god. Once they do that, the statue's expression changes to a creepy one and it gets up. Now the hunters must follow the second rule and praise the god. Sung realizes that this means standing beneath the statues with instruments in their hands. Sung barely manages to get to the right statue, and his leg is cut off while trying to get away from the big stone monster chasing him down. Once the second rule is also complete, an altar appears in the middle of the dungeon. Sung believes that in order to complete the final rule, everyone must stay within the altar and stare at the statues in order to stop them from moving, even though the door of the dungeon is now wide open. However, only Sung, his friend Juhee, and their leader, Song, are left. In the end, they are unable to stay within the altar, and Sung urges them to leave without him. Sung is left alone to die within the temple. The statues brutally kill him, slicing and mutilating his body. In his dying breath, all Sung can think about is the selfishness of others. His blood spreads on the altar, and instead of dying, a strange message appears before him. Sung wakes up in the hospital with no recollection of what happened to him. He remembers the statues killing him, but he doesn't know how he survived. His arms and legs are all intact as well, and there is no wound on his body. Sung notices a strange screen in front of him. It looks like a pop-up screen from a game, and it is showing him notifications and giving daily quests. Sung starts to realize that only he can see the screen, and for some reason, he can now build his strength like he's playing a game. Every day, the screen gives him workout quests to do, and when he fails to complete them, he is teleported to a strange realm with vicious monsters, and he has to survive their attacks for 3 hours as a form of penalty. Through this new power, Sung is able to acquire more power and build up his strength. He has his own stats which he can focus on, and he even gets loot boxes. One of these reward boxes gives him a key to a temporary dungeon. Once he trains up a little, Sung enters the dungeon and confronts monsters which he manages to kill. However, he has to face a ferocious wolf monster that proves to be quite the challenge. Sung continues to struggle against the wolf, but he recalls his inventory and gains a sword which helps him kill the beast. Sung continues to fight hordes of wolves in an effort to level up as much as possible. He realizes that this dungeon is the perfect place to kill smaller monsters in order to level up quickly. In a short span of time, Sung defeats several beasts, making himself stronger in the process. He finally decides to face the boss, a gigantic armored snake. Sung's tattered sword is no match for this monster, and he has to struggle to keep himself alive. The snake thrashes him around, and Sung almost admits defeat, but he realizes that he has come too far to fail now, and he uses his newfound strength to kill the snake, acquiring a new weapon and more stat boosts in the process. Once the boss is defeated, the dungeon vanishes and Sung leaves. Outside, an outbreak has caused beasts to attack the city. Nearby, some hunters are having difficulty with a monster. Sung stealthily uses his powers to break the defense barrier of the monster, allowing the other hunters to kill it. Sung's physical power has significantly increased, and he visibly has grown stronger and taller. He is discharged from the hospital, and Sung doesn't waste a moment to join another hunter raid. The rent is due, and in order to help out his mother and sister, Sung decides to take on a hunter job. At first, the group that Sung has joined seems normal enough. However, he quickly notices some suspicious things about them. They enter a portal where insect monsters attack them, which are swiftly defeated. The leader of the group happily harvests the essence stones from the monsters, but he wants more. He leads them towards the boss, which is located in a room full of mana stones worth a lot of money. Sung realizes the scheme that he has been trapped in. The leader of the group traps Sung and another rookie hunter, Jinwoo, in the room with the boss. They plan on letting the boss feast on the two of them, allowing the rest of the party to split the loot amongst themselves. Jinwoo is terrified and in shock. Due to the betrayal, however, Sung steps in to fight his way through and get both of them out of there. With nowhere left to run, Sung takes on the boss spider. His speed and strength help him evade the monster's attacks. However, his blade is not sharp enough to penetrate the monster's skin. Sung aims for its eyes and manages to bring down the beast as Jinwoo watches in awe. Once Sung kills the monster, he takes out the essence stone from within its body and prepares to leave. However, the rest of the hunters are back, and their boss is not pleased that Sung and Yu are still alive. He orders Yu to kill Sung, but he backs down. The hunters then attack Sung thinking he is weak, but this turns out to be a huge mistake for them. Sung shows them no mercy and kills all of them brutally. He no longer cares for being weak. He will do whatever it takes to survive. Sung and Yu come out of the dungeon alive. With the money he earned from his previous raid, Sung is able to pay his mother's medical bills and help around the house. He is approached by Yu once more, who wants Sung to join his hunter team because he wants to become a guild master. Not finding the offer enticing, Sung refuses him. He continues to focus more on his daily quests and realizes that a secret quest unlocks once he maxes out the daily requirement. He successfully unlocks additional rewards by completing the quest and gets a special key from the loot box. This key leads to a dangerous, high-level dungeon castle, which holds the elixir of life, a potion that can cure any illness. Determined to get the potion for his sick mother, Sung enters the dungeon and faces off against a monstrous Cerberus. The monster proves to be too much for him to handle, but he uses the system's shop to buy supplies that help him regain his strength. After much difficulty, Sung kills the beast and acquires the formula to the potion. However, to get the ingredients, he must venture deeper into the castle which the monster was guarding. Knowing that he won't be able to defeat the monsters inside the castle, Sung retreats for now. Sung still has a long way to go before he can get the ingredients for the elixir of life. In order to level up more quickly, he decides to accept Yu's offer and joins his hunter party. However, to proceed with the raids, they must gather more members. Meanwhile, an alert is sent out to low-level hunters about an emerging portal. To solve this problem, the Hunters Association teams up the survivors from the disastrous temple raid, allowing Sung to reunite with Song and Juhee. They are also assisted by 3 prisoners who will be entering the dungeon in order to shorten their sentences. They will be overseen by a member of the Hunters Association. With the party set, all of them enter the portal. Once the group enters the dungeon, they decide to split up, but it doesn't take long for things to go south. Kang, the member of the Hunters Association who was tasked to overlook the prisoners, takes his own action and kills the prisoners. Apparently, the father of the girl who the prisoners assaulted requested Kang to kill them. 2 other party members witness Kang killing the prisoners, and he turns on them as well. When Sung and the others arrive at the scene, everyone is left dead except for Kang, who reveals his true nature. He has a bloodlust and enjoys killing people, and now he will not spare Sung and his friends. Song bravely steps forward to fight him, but Kang is no match for him. Sung has to step in and use his strength to defeat the maniac. After an intense battle, Sung kills Kang and decides to fight the boss in the dungeon alone. After a while, Sung, Juhee, and Song make it out of the dungeon. Sung and Yu's partnership begins, and the two of them begin raiding dungeons. Yu also recruits other low-ranked hunters, allowing them to reach their party requirements. Their plan goes smoothly as Sung and Yu take care of all the work, while the rest of the party wait outside of the portal. This allows Sung to use his powers without drawing too much attention to himself, and all the while he is also gaining more skills and leveling up his skills as he defeats more monsters. A recruiter from the White Tiger Guild takes notice of Sung's activities and makes him an offer. He believes that Sung is a reawakened hunter, a type of hunter who can increase their level after almost losing their life. Sung coldly rejects the offer and even threatens the recruiter. He does not want unwanted attention coming his way. In fact, he tricks the recruiter into buying 3 C-ranked portals for a much higher price, sending a message that he is not someone that can easily be messed with. After leveling up through his raids with Yu, the system shows a job change quest to Sung. Unsure of what this could entail, Sung decides to accept the quest. He is immediately transported to a long hallway, where night monsters immediately charge at him. Each monster has abilities that match up with all the previous enemies Sung has killed. The first wave of enemies alone is quite the effort for Sung. However, he has come a long way as well, and takes them all out, advancing forward. Sung finds himself in a big room where he approaches an enemy that is giving him the same aura as the enemies in the temple. He knows that whatever he will be facing next is going to be difficult. A red knight emerges from the shadow. Its name is Igris. The blood red, and he lunges forward, not even giving Sung a moment to breathe. The battle between the two of them is intense, as Igris's power completely overwhelms Sung. He is left completely beaten down, as he desperately tries to survive. Sung uses all of his energy and willpower to defeat Igris. After a close battle, Igris is finally defeated by Sung, but this only signals the sort of the real challenge. Portals open up all over the room, and hordes of enemies rush out. The wave is endless, and Sung has to survive as long as possible, but that could be difficult for him in his current state. Meanwhile, S-ranked hunters in the country have decided to launch their counterattack on Jeju Island, a place where monsters have taken over, and where the S-ranked hunters failed to take back control, losing some of their own members in the process. Sung is completely overtaken by the swarm of knights and is unable to defeat them. He is about to be killed. However, the system transports him to the penalty area because he failed to complete the daily quest for the day. This gives Sung an opportunity to recuperate and get some of his strength back. When he is transported back to the room, he manages to take out the knights and the mages, which were controlling the knights. After completing the quest, Sung is given the Necromancer class. He can summon shadows of enemies that he has defeated and command them. This allows Sung to acquire the Shadow of Igris, who will serve as a strong Shadow Knight for Sung and aid him during battle. Well, that's a wrap for Season 1 of the series. Solo Leveling, thanks for watching and subscribe for more content.